Good morning and welcome to Herb Oracle Podcast, botanical divination with herbs, essences, flowers, and trees with your host, Herbal Marie. Let's start the day off pulling some oracle cards and getting a few messages. We can shoot the shiitake in a spiritual way-ish. And if you follow me on Instagram, I'll post a pic of the cards at Herb Oracle. Thanks so much for joining me. Here we go. So when we were hanging out Friday, pulling cards, picking numbers, just like how long was that podcast? Like 2 hours? Like when we were hanging out. On Friday, we pulled like 2 Yarrow cards. And that would have been extra funny to me last week had I had remembered or known that the herb of the week this week is Yarrow. So welcome back, Yarrow. Yarrow made 2 appearances on Friday, and herbs have done that before. I remember Rose did that too. Like the one Friday we pulled Rose, a bunch of Rose cards, and then I was like, let's see what the herb of the week next week is, and lo and behold, it was Rose, and I thought that was so funny. Well, this week it's Yarrow. So you'd not believe how many Yarrow cards that I have, because in every deck it's like, just let's put in a Yarrow. Like even the Yarrow made it into the Soulflower deck by Lisa Estabrook. Shout out to Lisa. With her amazing deck. I love it so much. We use it pretty much on a weekly basis every Friday because it's just so good and so beautiful. It made it in there. I mean, I have Tess Whitehurst, her deck here today. You should see Yarrow on her deck. What's up, handsome? What's up, handsome? He's got this big old Yarrow shield and his blonde hair like blowing in the wind. He's like on top of a hilltop with Yarrow, and he's got that like 2-day-old scruff thing going on his face. Oh my god. He's so handsome. We've got Yarrow from the herbal healing deck by Sarah and Ashley. I'm on a first name basis now. I'm not. Sarah Baldwin and Ashley Verkamp. And this Yarrow has big, beautiful, open eyes. Oh my gosh. Witch's Kitchen, the Herbiary, Plant Spirit Oracle, and more. Herb Crafter's Tarot. Did I forget one? Maybe I told you everything. Magical Herb. You just wait. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards. Now that's not the most. I remember like when we did Dandelion, I was like, today we have 159 cards. Get comfy. But still, there's a bunch. So that means Yarrow has a lot to teach us. And there's a lot of medicinal uses for Yarrow. So my nerds, hang out. All right, hang out, nerds. I'll tell you a few facts here and there to keep you strung along. I'm just going to give you enough to keep you here. But I'll tell you what we're really going to learn about. We're going to learn about boundaries. We're going to learn about protection. But at the same time, we're going to learn how to be open. And the Witch's Kitchen has a message of expulsion. Yeah, what's up? What a cool picture. Man, there's a Yarrow facial scrub, Yarrow face serum, Yarrow essential oil, Yarrow toner, all types of Yarrow. There's definitely a night vibe, like knight in shining armor with my handsome guy, Steve. I feel like his name is Steve. Steven. With Steven up there. And his muscles, oh my gosh. But also in the Herbiary card, there's these 2 metal knight hands, like the metal gloves. And it's holding like a crystal seeing ball. A seeing ball, is that what they're called, Sadie? A crystal seeing ball. And you can see Yarrow in it. Now, the Plant Spirit Oracle by Dana O'Driscoll, there is a green moth. And I guess, yeah, that's a moth. And it's in like a circle too. And it's almost like going into, it's like almost like a Yarrow portal. And this card has the words invisibility, hiding, discretion. Now, the Herb Crafter's Tarot, we've seen this card before. It's got a barbed wire fence with some yarrow growing, kind of peeking. Yeah, it's cozying up to the barbed wire. So we've got that. Boundaries. Yeah, a lot of different, two boundaries, two cards with boundaries. The Soul Flower and the Herbal Healing deck, they both have the word boundaries. And then it's just so funny though that like, we did pull the Magical Herb Oracle by Sherilyn Darcy. That was one of the cards on Friday. And even though I always think of boundaries and protection, her card with Yarrow is open and it has a key. So yeah, I guess even if you do make a fence, a boundary, you should have a way to get in and out, right? Like, yeah, protection this, protection that, but like, what do you want to open yourself to? So yeah, part of like getting what you do want in your fence, in your corral, you kind of have to get out some other stuff, I know someone, I guess we're kind of friends. We're kind of friends. Sure, Megan, we're friends. Anyways, she's got horses, and that her husband just built her a corral, like literally like a riding rink on their property. And it's like flattened and smooth, and there's no plants growing in the corral. There's no weeds. There's no nothing. It's like dirt. Like she's going to get in there and lasso some stuff and just, ride around on her horse practicing for her competitions. So she's an amazing lady. Like, wow. But anyways, my point is, they had to get everything out before they could get the perfect space to practice and master those skills. So yeah, we sometimes have to do that in our life too. I mean, hello, this is like, we've hung out. If you've hung out with me for every single episode, congratulations, we are in the 300s. And a lot of the work, oh yeah, I was going to put quotes around it with my fingers, and then my hands were like, no, it really was work. A lot of work we've done getting out the bullshit, releasing the limiting belief systems, releasing any type of resentment, hatred, illusions. Oh my gosh, you guys, like so much we had to get out in order to protect our sacred space. Now we don't have to like walk around feeling like we're going to be attacked. I'm learning that with the Course in Miracles. We don't want to be doing that, okay? We don't. However, it's all right. It's all right to, call upon Yarrow, okay? And the lessons that it learns. And, a lot of times, like, once we get ourselves into a better vibrational place, our boundaries are maintained. It's like once you get yourself out of the lower vibe realm of sadness and depression and despair and anger and resentment and disappointment and lack of love, lack of money. Like once you rise above all of that, it's not that you like have a bunch of Stevens with their Yarrow. Like it's not like they're beating anything away from you, but you no longer are a vibrational match to that bullshit. And so your boundaries are just naturally maintained. Naturally with the metaphysical laws of the universe. We took over 100 episodes last year to study, or at least read out loud, over it was like 105 universal laws. And once we kind of like got into it, it was easy to see that like once you raise your energy, the things that you are a match to will come to you, and the things that you aren't wanting will just be expulsion. It's actually the law of repulsion. It's like we all get stuck on the law of attraction, but like we really do have to use the law of repulsion too, just naturally. Even the Arcturians were talking about this morning. I just uploaded a video on my YouTube channel that's listed under my name, Sadie Marie Cherico, and it was saying like what the current energies require us of. But anyways, the point that I want to tell you is that it's like, listen, they're saying, and this is so true, whatever you put your energy on, that's going to be attracted to you. That's what you're going to harmonize with. And you're like, yeah, but I don't harmonize with Trump. I don't harmonize with politics. I don't harmonize with anger. I don't harmonize with sickness. Okay, but is that what you're putting your attention on? Because even though you don't want it, you're still paying attention to it. So you are harmonizing with it. You are harmonizing with what you don't want. You're like, I hate my husband. I'm like, me too. I hate him too. But us talking about him and thinking about him and hating him, we're actually harmonizing with him, and that's why some of this stuff is in our face more and more and more, because we are asking for it, literally, because we're paying attention to it, we're thinking about it, we're talking about it, we're hating about it. It doesn't matter if you're loving it or hating it, it all puts you as a match to it. So their point was, really start to harmonize with the things that you like instead of all the things that you don't like, because it all brings it to you. So I think it's going to be a good conversation about boundaries today, because come on, we all want good stuff and we all don't want bad stuff. Like that's whether it's different for you, like somebody might want Donald Trump to come to their house for dinner, and then other people will be like, no. Anyways, you can get smart. You can get so smart with your energy, and then you're going to be able to bring to you what you do want, and just naturally learn how to keep your focus on what you want. And it's like, you don't have to stand there and shout, I don't want you, I don't want you, because you're going to know better. You're going to know that you cannot scream no at something. Like the universe does not even know what the word no means, or don't. So if you're like saying no to something, you might as well just say yes to it. So there is no no. There's only yes and yes and yes. It's a yes universe. It's a Yarrow universe. So Yarrow, that's the first message coming in from Yarrow. It's saying, yeah, you can have these boundaries by focusing on the yes, focusing on what you want in. What do you want in? Don't even think about what you don't want. Don't think about what you're trying to keep out, because as soon as you start thinking about it, you're going to harmonize with it and you're going to bring it to you. Even though you don't want it, it don't matter. The universe only hears yes. The universe only hears yes. All right, so I hope that made sense. I got the cards here. We're gonna do this, y'all. We are going to hang out with our very protective herb of the week, Yarrow. Wow. All right, where do we start? So I, without realizing it, like I totally made a boundary with this layout here. The Night Hands pocket of protection is in the center, and then all the other ones go around it. But I really feel called to start with the Herbal Healing deck. And then that'll cater to my herb nerds. My herb nerds that are maybe in a hurry to get some facts. My green witches were just like, yo, let's make some tea. Let's hang out. It's rainy. It's rainy here today. I've been outside. I love it when it's raining. I did so much work yesterday, you guys. Like, I can feel it in my bones. No, I can feel it in my butt, actually. I moved big rocks yesterday. These big cement circle things. I'm making my little dog fence garden. I'm using the old dog fence that my chickens used to live in, and I've moved it, and I've decided to do some container gardening in it. Well, all summer long it has looked so shabby and like, oh my gosh, and I finally was like, I've got to be able to make this look better. And I took tabletops out of the garage, I took these big rocks, I took these cement things, and I have made myself actually a pretty cool looking little garden layout. Like, it looks so much better. I probably had a ton of help from Spirit in figuring out how to make this look cool. And it looks a lot cleaner, and I'm going to bring in all these rocks and stones. It's going to be a long project. It's going to keep me busy. It'll get me outside, and I'm going to work on it. Like, as the plants die down in the old garden, then I'm going to be able to find the rocks, that have become overgrown, and wash them off and put them into my new little garden space. But anyways, it was a really good, positive thing for me yesterday. And I really am feeling it in my glutes and my butt. That is my butt, isn't it? And my legs and my little bit of my lower back. Like, I can tell I moved heavy things. I really did. And then I went to the bathroom when I was done last night, and dang it, there was a tick right on my hip, getting ready to bite me. Like, it had left a red mark, but it didn't get in there yet. So I mean, it was perfect timing to see it. But then it was like, you son of a gun. And that was literally just in my yard, walking back and forth from the garage to the garden. So that sucks. But anyways, hey, what did I just talk about like 2 seconds ago? Focusing on what we want. So do we focus on the ticks, or do we focus on the beautiful layout of the garden, right? Do we focus on the negative, or do we focus on the plants? Like, just right. And even within plants, are you focusing on how they're flourishing, or are you deciding to focus on your disappointments? So within everything, let us please remember that we have a choice. Within every moment, within every topic, within everything, we have a choice as to what our perspective, our focus is. So yeah, let us be open to seeing the good, 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 seeing the positive, seeing the compassion, seeing the love, seeing the possibility, seeing the forgiveness opportunity, right? So I think really we're going to get smarter. We're going to get smarter here with Yarrow. But we are going to start out with, this is the Herbal Healing Deck by Sarah Baldwin, Ashley Verkamp. Their message on the card is boundaries. You guys, this face is so beautiful. Like, all the plants, most of them have eyes and a face and a total personality on these cards. And I just love Yarrow. I just love it. Like, whereas she kind of takes a masculine feel. Isn't that putting the goddess honest? She is taking a masculine feel in a lot of the other cards. However, she is absolutely just aware, awake, present, open, focused, strong, really enlightened. I love her feathery leaves. I love the column of light that's going vertical from the higher realms into the earth. And then, yeah, she has this golden egg of light around her. And so there's a lot of golden lighted boundaries in a lot of these pictures, right? And think of that as like your aura, okay? Your aura, your energy. Your energy can naturally be protective, not because you're on defense, not because you're looking for something that could get you, or that you're on attack, or you're aggressive. No, but your energy, when you align with the golden Christed light, let's just get right to it. When you align with the higher realms, with Source, with the energies of Mother Nature, with the energies of the earth, with the energy of Gaia, the earth, it's naturally protective because you're vibing high. So vibing high, it's not just like a cool thing to put on a t-shirt or your coffee mug, right? But actually do it, actually live it, actually be it. And then you're naturally like feel this like energy radiating off of you. It's like you got this bubble around you. And it's like things just can't get in, right? So a little negative thought comes around, ping. It just like cannot even like penetrate your golden egg bubble of love and light around you. So think of it that way. It's not like something that you have to be like, we must protect ourselves. No, we must be positive because that's what we want, because that's what we are. And then let's allow the laws of the universe to do what they naturally do and not allow bullshit to be a vibrational match with it, because we're not harmonizing our frequency to it. We're just not tuning into it. We're ignoring it. It doesn't exist for us because we don't think about what we don't want. We only think about what we do want. Louise Hay said, taking a stand and setting healthy boundaries are often the most loving things you can do, not only for yourself, but for the other person as well. And in my own personal experience, when I decided to become what I thought was a better person for me, when I decided to get rid of my negative thoughts, forgive people, feel better, start to love people more, start to love myself more, then yes, my whole world did come crashing down around me, because I had been living in a very negative world. I was married to a very negative person. And once I started to increase my vibration, he couldn't stand to be around me. So the negativity literally left, because I decided not to say that he had to leave, not to say like you can't come in here with your negativity. All I did was become more positive. So yeah, a lot of times, like when you're like, all right, I'm on a spiritual path now and I'm being more positive, and you know, it's like you're doing things for you. You're doing your forgiveness work. You're bringing in more good energy. You're focusing on the light. It's like, oh my gosh, everybody in my life just dropped out. Like, right? Because most of the people in your life aren't a vibrational match to that anymore, right? So they just can't even be around you anymore. It's the craziest thing, because like at first you're like, oh my gosh, like I started doing this, and then now I don't have any friends. Well, they couldn't hang with you anymore, and it's okay. So a lot of times I don't worry about it if somebody, I'm like, dang it, this person, like, you know, really not the type of person I want in my life. I usually just use it now as an indication that, you know, I'm faltering in my vibration. So the best thing for me to do is love them, appreciate them, raise my vibe, get happy, get happy, get happy, get happy, get happy. Poof, abracadabra, they gone. So yarrow, a perennial herb that grows wild in most areas of the United States and Canada. Yarrow can be recognized in the spring by its delicate fern-like leaves. They're just tiny fern-like leaves. In the summer, I don't want you to think it's like big as a fern. I wish yarrow grew like that. It doesn't grow big around here, really. But yeah, there's lots of frilly, ferny leaves on its stalk. In the summer, these give way to tall stalks with a tabletop of white or pink flowers. Okay, so medicinally, it can lower fever, help balance menstruation, and heal varicose veins are among its internal uses. Now, it's also called woundwort because it's one of the best herbs to keep on hand for treating injuries. A small portion of the leaf can completely stop a cut from bleeding instantly. Its swift action is amazing to behold. So, if you're outside moving rocks, which I almost sliced up my hands so much moving this cement, and I was like, Sadie, put on gloves, right? Like, but I prevented bleeding from happening. But if you are if something's bleeding, try it out just to see if it works. I've heard of a lot of people shoving this up their nose to stop a nosebleed. I made the tincture. I didn't make any tincture this year because it just didn't really grow in my yard and I didn't go looking for it. I think I did I made one tincture bottle that had like half yarrow and half red clover. So I do have some yarrow if I would need it. I think it's great for lowering a fever. It makes you sweat a little bit. But it can be used for other things, and it can also be used topically, and yeah, it can help stop bleeding. So yarrow, in Greek mythology, the wise centaur, is it Chiron or Chiron? Anyways, a mentor for many great heroes, Chiron, the wise centaur, taught others how to heal with herbs and with the hands. During a fight between the centaurs and Hercules, Chiron was accidentally wounded, though he had not taken part in the brawl. But now that we know that he was putting his attention on it, so he was, in fact, a part of it. The metaphysical maiden inside of me is like, oh no, if you were watching, you were there. Okay, anyways, this wound turned out to be incurable. It never healed. Knowing that his pain would go on eternally, he gave his life to the gods in exchange for the freedom of Prometheus, who was chained to a rock on a mountaintop being pecked by birds, a punishment for bringing the gift of fire to mankind. I also burnt some stuff yesterday, and it was too windy to be burning stuff. It made me a little nervous, so I made it quick. But yeah, anyways, and then today it's raining. Focus, Sadie. This selfless gesture greatly impressed Zeus, who sent him to the heavens to shine as a light to guide others. Astrologically, Chiron rules philosophy, healing, and holistic understanding. Did you know that? This embodies the archetypes of the wounded warrior and wounded healer. These roles are similar because spiritual warriors can be peaceful healers, and healers must sometimes harness warrior energy. So, when Yarrow comes into your life, there is a recognition of your healing capacities. Through your great empathy towards others, you have the natural ability to heal, especially with herbs or with your hands, as in massage or energy work. This empathy often comes from one's own experience of suffering, whereby we gain the desire to relieve the pain of fellow humans. This is a beautiful truth that lends a sense of purpose to what can seem like the senseless wounds of a harsh world. Drawing this card can herald a time of being called on to heal others, and it is a signal that you already have the means to do so. So yeah, I think pretty much we all can relate to that archetype, that story. Like, who hasn't come to herbalism because there was a reason for it? Who hasn't fallen in love deeper with a healing modality because they directly benefited from it, right? So it's like, that is the beautiful thing about humans. It's like, oh my gosh, I found something that made me feel better. Now let me tell you about it, right? Like, I found something that made me happy. Let me tell you about it, right? It's great to share things that are helpful and that are enjoyable and positive. And, you know, it's like when you figure out something, oh my gosh, like when I discovered Abraham Hicks and how like it really helped me to change my thinking in a lot of way, my perspective, and it was like there was a natural thing to tell people about it. So if you're taking herbs and your body's feeling great, it's like natural that you want to tell people about it. Or if you've, figured out a way to heal something within you, and then you like come across somebody who you can see is suffering, that compassionate aspect kicks in and you want to tell them about it. So I love that. I love that too. I love that about us. I do. Absolutely. All right. So Yarrow also reminds us to uphold our personal boundaries even when immersed in healing work. The flower essence of Yarrow is used to balance sensitive individuals with porous energy fields. So if your golden bubble of light is porous and it seems like you're leaking energy or things are getting in, maybe check into the flower essence of Yarrow. People with absorbent auras are able to pick up on the vibrations of others easily, which makes them natural healers and gifted psychics. However, such people are sometimes subject to extreme levels of empathy and merging with others, so they may have difficulty deciphering which feelings are their own. Yarrow asks you to consider your own energy field. Notice any places where your life force leaks out. It may be that certain types of healing work, particular clients or friends, or simply the amount of work you shoulder is depleting your energy. So yeah, let's just check in with ourselves real quick right now. Is there anywhere in your energy, your body, your aura, your mind, like do you just feel depleted? Is somebody got a energy vampire in your life? I mean, you're allowing them to suck at your neck, taking all your life force. You have to realize that. But it's like we should check ourselves every once in a while. Like if you're feeling like you're not keeping up, maybe you're taking on too much work. Maybe there is an energy vampire in your life. Maybe you're the vampire in your life because you're thinking negative thoughts. You're being a little too loose with your energy, a little too open. You don't know how to say no, or you don't know how to really focus in your energy. So it's kind of scattered and maybe all over the place. That could lead to being tired. Maybe you're doing stuff that you're not really lined up with and you don't want to do. So you're out of alignment. That can be exhausting. So anyways, on the regular, especially this week, since Yarrow is our herb of the week, check in with yourself, with your personal boundaries, with your energy field, and see if you can catch anything that's leaky or porous or needs to be maintained better, or just bring into your awareness where you could be focusing your energy more appropriately. By placing stronger boundaries with people, you create a protective shield for your own well-being. Yarrow reminds you that even as a healer, you must remember to care for yourself or risk suffering Chiron's incurable wound. While healing work is a noble pursuit, you need not become a martyr. You can still be a good friend without bending over backward for everyone. The world is a very wounded place, so taking it upon yourself to save everybody is a recipe for disaster in your own life. Be sure to distinguish other people's problems from your own. So do what you can, but you're not going to be able to do anything for anyone if you yourself get run down in the dirt. You know what I mean? If you get run down so much, burning the candle at both ends, right? You just get burnt up. How can you help anybody then? So that's why you got to maintain your own energy, clear your energy, pull back your energy. Sometimes you need to pull in your auric field. It just gets 25 feet away from you, and you're not ready for that yet. Okay? You got to bring in your energy, breathe. Pull it in. Hold yourself. Hold yourself first. Okay? Hold yourself with your own energy and really breathe more. If you feel like you're getting zapped, you need to breathe more. Another important distinction to make is between your own feelings and those of others. When you feel upset or worried, remember to ask yourself if these feelings are truly your own. If they do not belong to you, then immediately disown those emotions before they become entrenched in your energy field. So how about you just feel your own feelings and not take on other people's for them, right? I mean, your sister calls you, she's crying because she made another bad decision in her life, and it's like, listen, you're gonna just have to let her have her own experience, her own feelings. Like, you can't be emotionally tied into everybody all the time. You shouldn't. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's killing you. All too often, healers absorb negative emotions from other people. If this is a chronic condition for you, it may be time to seek healing from someone else to help you clear unwanted energies. So please, call upon the spirit of Yarrow to help with this process, to help clear your energy, to help release what is not even you, to help maintain some sustainable boundaries that are beneficial to you, and quit absorbing negative emotions from other people. So yeah, if your energy field has become too porous, we need to put a yarrow paste. We need to wash it with some yarrow tea and, just kind of seal up some of those places that you're literally bleeding out. You're bleeding out your energy. So whether your healing abilities are used professionally or just in your personal life with family and friends, it's like, like you should be getting paid for it. You're friggin' everybody's personal therapist all the damn time. See, you should have went to school for it. Or start asking your friends and families for donations. No, just kidding. You're like, yes, I will hear you whine and moan for the next 20 minutes, but it's literally going to cost you. Here's my rates. All right. Regardless if you're a professional or just, you're trying to help people in your life, keeping boundaries between you and others is crucial at this time. With proper boundaries in place, you can experience compassionate, loving awareness without personal depletion. While saying no to people can feel harsh, this practice actually makes you a stronger healer who can help others more effectively in the long run. So I don't want to harass you every 5 minutes about the Course in Miracles, but I have to tell you that it is doing the lessons, reading the text, it is 100% changing me as a healer, and kind of giving me that perspective that I think is what Jesus held. Like, as we look at people and we see them wounded, we are reinforcing their illness. We are reinforcing their lack. We are reinforcing their disease. And we really do have to stop perceiving people like that. So it might seem harsh for you to tell people no and to not be a sounding board for, say, their emotional pain or their physical pain. But at some point, if you're really actually doing them a disservice by letting them go on and on and on, focused on their unwellness. You need to get people focused on feeling better. You need to get focused on wellness. You need to get focused on perfect and divine health. And anytime we see anybody, as anything less than that, we're actually not helping them. So anyways, it's an interesting book, you guys. There's many, many, many reasons to read the Course in Miracles. Your forgiveness practice being a big, big one. But also, if you do actually want to help people, how many times have you tried to help people and you could not? We are missing part of the part of the equation, I think. And the Course in Miracles is going to help tune us in so that we can genuinely and truly help people, right? Genuinely and truly manifest miracles in their life. But you're going to have to change the way you think in order to do that. Herbs will take you to a certain extent, but as your herbalist friend and now a Course in Miracles groupie, I can see how they can only take you so far. And when they don't work, it's because we are missing out an energetic portion of that equation, right? So anyways, something to think about. Something to think about. All right, I'll turn that card over. All right, that was just only our first card. Oh my God. All right, let's go into the witch's kitchen, because I feel like there is people listening in that really still do want to get people the fuck out of their life. And we're like, yeah, we want to help people, but there's this other group of people that like we build in that wall, right? We are expulsioning them from our life. But hopefully all the other stuff that I've rambled along to you does sink in, and eventually it will. But yeah, like sometimes, like whenever like we are like recently wounded or hurt, our egos are definitely in attack mode, and we want to fortify our defenses and, make sure that they don't try to get back in, but I mean, granted, as you get more understanding of the laws of the universe, you're gonna deliberately think about them less and less. However, I feel like we need to go into the witch's kitchen right now. For everyone that's like still like, okay, like I get that, I should only be focusing on love and light, but it's just so hard because I'm just so angry and hurt, and like I get it. Trust me, if anybody gets it, it's me. It's me. I spent like a freaking decade of my life fucked off. I get it, but I just know how much better it is now that I'm not living like that. However, sometimes life does give you situations where you feel like you have no other choice than to, physically remove things or, really be extreme, like, with your situation. For your own safety sometimes, like I get it. So anyways, let's bring in Yarrow from the witch's kitchen. There's a great cauldron on the stove, so many flames. Like I know there's probably an archway of light on all of the cards, but it just seems so much more predominant with the Yarrow one because of all the golden circles and lighted circles and ovals and egg shapes. There's like a lot of there's definitely a lot of boundaries represented here today. But I'm just like loving like the Yarrow facial scrub and face serum and toner. So we really do want to grow more of this plant around us because there's so much benefit to it. But let's talk about expulsion. Fever's high, I'll sweat it out. Toxins exiled, there's no doubt. Expulsion is my forceful charm as I dismiss and expel harm. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. So Yarrow wants to talk about you putting your boundaries in place and expelling anything that is preventing you from being your magical best. So sometimes you do need to open up that window and tell the negative energies to get the fuck out. And then you'll realize that you are also part of the negative energy. And then you go outside and get some sunshine and pick some Yarrow and receive your messages. Richly endowed with spiritual properties, Yarrow says, I've been preserved in temples and treated with reverence for my ability to influence lifeblood, the essence that is carried through the blood itself. As an amulet, I will protect against evil, for my power is capable of overcoming the forces of darkness. I will safeguard you from the toxic behavior of others. Keep in mind that I intensify the work of other herbs and increase their essential oil content. Do not be fooled by my pretty lace features, for I'll make you sweat to break a fever and have the power to ostracize congestion, bruises, arthritis, and measles. Plant me next to your threshold to deport fearsome spirits, eject any poisonous plants that infect your herb garden, and banish any other toxins that creep into your life. So it's like, hey man, while I'm trying to be focused on the love and light, I do appreciate a good friend like Yarrow who's willing to do all the dirty work for me, has my back, just making sure that nothing gets in while I'm fortifying myself. So the Latin name for Yarrow is Achillea milfolium, derived from Achilles, whose warriors were healed with yarrow, right? So it does stop bleeding. They found some fossilized yarrow pollen in Iraq in a Neanderthal burial cave dating back 60,000 years. So, it's been tried and true. You can trust yarrow. It's been here a while. Stories from ancient China speak of yarrow that was used to reawaken the spiritual forces and balance yin and yang energies. So, gave me little chills, but it also might be because it's 61 degrees in here. Is that 61 or 60? Yeah, I think it is. It's kind of chilly. I haven't turned on the heat yet, you guys, because I just, it got too dry. It got too dry in here. And anyways, also want to tell you that you could make a powder for nosebleeds and wounds. So harvest the yarrow leaves only. Okay, this is just something you do with just the leaves, not the flowers. Use the long leaves at the base of the stem. So just the frilly leaves. Hang them up to dry or use a dehydrator. Once the yarrow leaves are dried, place them into a coffee or herb grinder to make a very fine powder. And then keep that in a dry place, an airtight container. You can put that very fine powder on your wounds if you've taken off a chunk of skin. Put the powder in the wound. Trust me, it will feel so much better. If you're bleeding, put the powder in the wound. If you're getting a nosebleed, I guess snort it. Disclaim out the wazoo. Shove it up there if you can, but man, when I was a kid, I got so many nosebleeds. If I would have known that I could snort some yarrow powder, I probably would have tried that. I had a lot of nosebleeds. So anyways, I love yarrow. I like it for lots of different things. You can, if you're making a powder with the leaves, and use the tops in a tincture. Okay, make a yarrow tincture for yourself, perhaps a yarrow flower essence. But yeah, definitely get some yarrow into your life and get the negative, toxic energy out. All right, Witch's Kitchen, I hear ya. Expulsion for you. All right, let's swing on up to the Ace of Air, the yarrow from the Herb Crafter's Tarot. And yeah, it says in this little guidebook, you can craft a powder of dried yarrow leaves to stop bleeding. Use it in magical practice to heal wounds that cut to the bone. So whether you've been wounded physically or emotionally, yarrow is an herbal ally for you, just like it's been used for 60,000 freaking years. I mean, we're not the first ones. The Latin name for Yarrow does come from the myth of Achilles. Read his birth story, then journal the question, what is my Achilles heel? How is it keeping me from my destiny? So I feel like Yarrow wants us to kind of reflect here for a second, like what wounds are keeping us from flourishing, you know? Like, are there some wounds that we feel like we can't heal, or we just really haven't tried to heal, or for whatever reason, you know, our egos keep those wounds alive. So let's take a little reflecting moment too this week, and that will go along well with checking your energy field. Like, why are you porous? Why are you letting people take advantage of you? Why are you exhausted? Is it because you've been lugging around an energetic wound? Anyways, learn how to identify this plant. It is a weed. Know that it does have some lookalikes, perhaps, that you might want to know the difference. But anyways, the Ace of Air comes in here. This is the one with the barbed wire fence, and the yarrows just growing where the heck it wants, coming through a little bit. And it has a message, don't fence me in. Discernment is necessary for survival. Know your wounds, identify your medicine. So knowing our wounds allows us to heal them, because we'll be able to find the right remedy for that. A wild bramble grows along a barbed wire fence in front of a dry field with a mountain in the distance. So yeah, there is a mountain way back there. A hummingbird, oh my gosh, and there's a hummingbird. A hummingbird lands on a leafless thorn-laden stem. That's cute. I'm glad. Why didn't I see that? I love hummingbirds. They're just so little and adorable. And powerful warriors. I've learned so much from the hummingbirds. Anyways, take a fresh look at an ancient calling from spirit. Though it is a common weed and yarrow often goes unnoticed, it says inspiration is close, yet you may have overlooked it as ordinary or not valuable enough. So yeah, don't overlook yarrow. Don't overlook your inspiration. Don't overlook the fact that like most all of your answers are right in front of you. And that's what I love too about herbalism. Like, basically the stuff that we take for granted in the backyard is going to be our best, most powerful medicine. Use discernment and reasoning to see clearly. It is important to positively identify yarrow because lookalikes can be deadly. Set feelings aside and follow the truth. Start with what you already know. Seek vision from your ancestors. So yeah, this is definitely like an herb that like keeps us going. You know, look at its growing conditions right now. Like, it's dry. It's by a barbed wire fence. There's all this other bramble stuff. Like, it's really kind of inhospitable looking, but it is there. It is doing well. It knows how to survive. It really does. So there's a lot of inspiration to be taken from this plant. Connecting with our ancestors who have used this plant for evs. Just know that like sometimes we do have to set our feelings aside, especially like Yarrow said before. Are they even yours? Or are you emotionally wrapped up in somebody else's business? Are you just feeding off of the collective anguish, right? Like, do you really feel like that? Or have you been overcome with, you know, the people around you and things? It's like discernment. Really see clearly, really look at things clearly, reflect, contemplate, know yourself, know what's yours and what isn't. Discernment is being able to like see things for what they are without being blinded by your emotional, I want to say like roller coaster, you know? It's like sometimes you really do just have to like breathe and chill and sit there like a calm warrior and observe and see what's what. and just unplug your emotions for a minute so that you can regain your footing. Regain your footing. So know your wounds, identify your medicine. Discernment is necessary for survival. And yeah, don't fence me in, right? We don't want to be fenced in ever. So yeah, be the Yarrow. Be the Yarrow, heal what you need to heal, and then don't let anything keep you away from your destiny. So I personally think, yes, it is important to know your wounds, but don't let them define who you are. Don't identify with your wounds. Don't become your wounds. Yes, I might have a wound. I'm going to heal it, but it's not who I am, right? It's sort of like people become so identified with their disease. And then they start to harmonize with it more and they become it. And then congratulations, it is yours. It is yours because you knew it too well. So it's like be aware of it, but then heal it up. Don't become it. Don't let that wound become the armor that it's not even protecting you anymore. It's fencing you in. So I do feel like there's this kind of lurking message. It's like sometimes, maybe we manifested something as kind of like a boundary, but instead of keeping out what we didn't want, we've actually just completely limited ourselves, and we're holding us back from our destiny. All right, let me grab the herbiary card because I feel like with these it's the knight's gloves, like made out of metal. Like how much flexibility and movement can you have wearing a suit of armor, including the gloves? Like if somebody was swinging swords at you, you would appreciate this. But come on now, you guys. Nobody's swinging swords at us in our life. But yet we're acting like they are sometimes. Like we've got ourselves bound up with so much defense and boundaries and shields. And it's like we thought we were doing ourselves a service, giving ourselves protection, but yet we've gone too far with it. And now we're being held back. So if you feel like you're ready to be able to, you want to really be able to move in your life. You really want to be flexible and fluid and open. At some point, you are going to have to take the armor off. All right, but let's see what Maya Toll says with Yarrow, with pocket of protection. So, man, you can't talk about Yarrow without talking about warriors because it just has such a historical story to it. But anyways, her ritual is going to be reestablish personal space, and the reflection is, can you say no? Can you say no? In older times, Yarrow traveled with warriors, while her official job was staunching wounds, keeping the insides in and the outsides out. Her presence brought bravery to the soldiers she kissed. Aw, that's sweet. Today, she has much the same task. Yarrow assists you in keeping your boundaries, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. She creates pockets of protection so you can slow down, so you can gather your strength and find your courage. And so, yeah, it'd be in those moments of slowing down, too, that you would also reclaim your discernment. I'm just completely interjecting here left and right so you can see if you even want to go to war, right? I mean, I'm feeling peaceful today, guys. I'm feeling peaceful. Yarrow reminds you that boundaries are not just for keeping the outside from coming in, but also for keeping yourself from leaking out, letting thought and emotions run rampant in the world. Yarrow will create a bubble of protection and a bit of sacred space within which you can regroup, regenerate, and recreate yourself. Well, yeah, I'm totally jiving with that, you guys, because it's like, yeah, like if you're leaking your energy, just look at what happens to you when you watch the news. Do you realize how much of your life force you hand over to them, that leaks out, that they suck out, that you literally just let ooze out of you as you watch one negative story after another, propaganda of unnecessary war, unnecessary fear. You know, it's like that's the kind of stuff that Yarrow is like, please stop giving your attention, your power, your energy to this. Yeah. Maintain your sacred space by not letting that stuff in and not letting your powerful energy leak out. You know you feel terrible when you watch the news, and it's just like, why do you keep doing that? All right, here's your ritual to reestablish your personal space. So if you feel like, you know, you really could maintain your inner space a wee bit better, let's do this. In order to ask Yarrow to hold a little space for us, we need to know what space we're asking her to hold. So you need to close your eyes for this part and pretend you're inside a glass bubble, right? So maybe see this glass bubble as your aura. You can think of it that way, or stick with glass bubble if that's more comfortable for your mind. So see yourself inside a glass bubble or inside your aura, okay? But basically, we've got to figure out what space we're asking her to hold for us. So let's run our fingers along the inside of the bubble, feeling the edges of your body's energy. Willingly suspend your disbelief and trust your fingers. So we're in a glass bubble, and we're going to run our fingers on the inside of it, feeling the edges of our body's energy. Is your bubble smooth and whole? Are there areas that feel in need of shoring up? Like, where can you sense a little porousness, a little leaking, a little scratchiness, a wound, a freaking crack in the glass? I mean, whatever you figure out and, come to, trust it. If you feel a gap in your bubble, if you're picking up nooks and crannies and cracks and breaks in your aura, call on Yarrow to help you recreate the boundaries of your personal space. So just pull in the spiritual energy of Yarrow to help heal up these tiny little wounds that we don't think that they're much, but we might as well just heal them up, since we have our beautiful, wonderful herb of the week to help us to do so. All right, let's take a little break here. Are you done filling your bubble? Okay, can you say no? Can you say no? Yarrow has enthusiastically adapted to modern times. She helps us all establish personal space and hold boundary lines. Remember, though, that she's a partner, not a guard dog. In order for Yarrow to do her job, you have to learn to say one magic word: no. These 2 letters can be tough to spit out. If you're concerned about being nice or cooperative, you may find yourself saying yes or maybe when your heart is actually saying no. How does saying no sit with you? Are you able to say no to being overextended and protect the dreamy little bubble Yarrow offers you? So this is super valid, you guys. Like, if you're constantly saying yes when you would like to say no, you're not being authentic. You're going against your guidance system. You're giving away your energy. Like, if you don't want to do something, then don't do it. you need to learn how to say no and then focus on what you do want to do. So anyways, good advice from Yarrow. And there is a book called Celtic Myth and Religion by Sharon Pace MacLeod. And she says, in one healing charm for gathering yarrow, the healer says the plant is being gathered so their hand will be more brave, their foot more swift, and their speech like the beams of the sun. So there we go. Line up with what you want. All right, I'm going to flip that card over. I'm flipping them over so I know that we have done them. So I really feel like I do want to go up to our Yarrow stud muffin up there with the shield, since Yarrow's a friend, not a guard dog. That was funny. All right, so let's see what Yarrow says by Tess Whitehurst. It is the last one in the book. And it is all about a protective shield. And she talks about the magical specialties of Yarrow, which would be banishing and exorcism, divination, healing, releasing negative emotions, and protection. So that is a big theme this week. Even though, like, yeah, it doesn't I'm not completely excited about it. That is our theme this week, protection. That's what we're going to manifest more of on Wednesday, I guess. That's what I have scheduled for myself. But I would say the best way to protect yourself is releasing negative emotions, is doing your healing work, right? Don't identify with your wounds, with your disease. You want to do the best thing you can do to yourself by healing. That's the way to protect yourself, using your discernment, seeing it for what it is. Know your wounds so you can know your medicine. Know your wounds so you can know your medicine. It doesn't mean know your wounds so you can make a full commitment to dating it for the rest of your life, right? No, know the wound so you can heal the wound. Not know the wound so that you can have something to talk about it to everybody you know. Like, you got to catch yourself, you guys. If you're like always talking about what's not going right in your mind, in your body, in your life, you are solidifying those things that you don't want without realizing it. So the only exorcism that you need to do is with your own negative thinking, that negative emotions. You are your own enemy whenever you're doing this to yourself. So, all right, so you have to be a warrior, absolutely. A loving, kind, spiritual warrior of love and light and forgiveness. So if we look at this picture, we can notice how the warrior emanates the alert, confident relaxation that is a natural byproduct of his meticulous vigilance and well-practiced expertise in the art of defense. Similarly, the divine energies that surround you are utterly reliable in their ability to protect. With them on your side, you need not experience a single moment of fear. You need not feel drained of the tiniest portion of your precious life force or be overly open to challenging energies of any kind. So yeah, if you can get your energy lined up and get things figured out, you are going to feel so much better. But first, you need to call on these divine protective energies and then relax and trust that you are indeed protected. A simple way to do this is to close your eyes and center yourself. As you breathe away any tension and fear, then consciously connect with the earth and the cosmos, feeling light and energy coming in from beneath your feet, through your tailbone, down the crown of your head. Realize that you are not alone. You are one with everything. And like a reigning monarch, you have within your command all the protection you need. So yeah, bringing in your power from the higher realms down to the top of your head, bringing in the power available to you from your Mother Earth up through your feet, right? Letting them all swirl around you in your torso, feeling so much love and light and protection and power. Ooh, from this place now that you have within you, you've created a space within you, a space of connection. From this place of connection, envision a very bright, fiery, golden white sphere of light around you. Feel and know from the depths of your soul that you are completely safe within this light, and that no negative or challenging energies of any kind may enter. So that's what I'm talking about. Holding yourself, letting yourself be held by the light that you have brought in and created. This egg-shaped bubble of aura, right? Whatever you want. You can call it whatever the hell you want. But let yourself reside in this energy, in this shield of light. And say an inner thank you to the divine protective powers that be. So yeah, I mean, bring it in. You can feel good. You can feel protected. You can feel held in the arms of the divine. You've got so much energy flowing to you. It's crazy. It's crazy how much we're not letting in is what's crazy. Because it's like you've got all the protection. You can call on your ancestors. You can call on your angelic forces. You can call on the archangels. You can call on, you can call on whatever you want to call on. You can call on yourself, your higher self. Please allow me to create this space where I can just reside in all the time. Now, if you are concerned about anyone or anything, stop worrying. Instead, inwardly release the person or situation to the divine and call upon protective energies to light and surround you. So call on protective energies and light to surround and protect. So, I'm doing that. Well, I mean, I haven't picked it up yet, but I'm reading the book on my YouTube channel, or talking about it, Flossie and Sade, the complete writings of Florence Scovel Shinn. But I'm just focusing on the game of life and how to play it. In the next chapter, that should I go back to it, I hope I do, because it's my favorite chapter in the book. It's casting the burden. And anything that's bugging you, you cast the burden on the Christ within. So you don't need to worry about it anymore. You need to release the person, the situation, the fear, the wound. Release it to the divine and let them handle it. And then you just be surrounded by the energy of light. Okay? It's like whatever's bugging you, just let it go. Hand it over to Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel. I cast this burden on the Christ within, and I go free. And I go free. Do not allow any person, place, or situation to drain you of energy. Stand in your power and enlist the support of divine protection and love. So yeah, I think all of us would benefit by just taking some time today to surround ourselves in a protective light. 1, because it feels good, and 2, because it helps heal us, and 3, because we need a visualization sometimes to assist us and feeling protected, honoring our boundaries, and letting that light dissolve any negativities. So cleanse yourself of fear, whatever that means that you need to do it. Get rid of your negative thinking, get rid of the repetitive thinking. Tess is suggesting to also, clear some clutter from your home, from your body, maybe do a cleanse, right? Call on the divine in any way that feels powerful for you. and then mentally shield yourself in a protective shield of light, right? So if you're worried about anything, you're worried about your children, just see them surrounded in protective light and love them, love them, love them. You cannot help them by worrying about them. That is negative energy. You can only truly assist them by loving them. Now this is so wise, so hear this now, as well as the sound of my beautiful daughter clanging her spoon on her ice cream bowl. Fear and worry are negative prayers. No matter how frightening things may appear, call on divine help. Trust that you are supported by this help and cultivate a deep, expansive sense of confidence and calm. So you need to realize that if you are focused on fear and worry, you are saying a negative prayer. And what you ask for, you shall receive. So you are literally asking for more fear when you focus on the fear. When you worry, you are becoming harmonized match to that worrisome thought. You're bringing that to you which you don't want. So stop it. You have to stop doing these things that you're too smart to do now. So be diligent. Be a diligent warrior with your thoughts. Catch yourself when you're thinking things that don't serve you. Spend time with Yarrow if you can, maybe even just the pictures of these cards. If it's not growing around you right now, it's all dead around me. I couldn't find Yarrow anywhere. Maybe some leaves. I could probably find some leaves because I know where it was. And, you know, it usually starts growing before winter, very low to the ground. But spend some time with Yarrow. Think about Yarrow today. Think about Stephen here on the picture. And bring this beautiful, powerful, protective energy into your life. So it's like, okay, just know that you are protected. You don't have to keep your defenses up, watching out for the bad guys. Just know that you already are protected from the divine, and let that give you the confidence and freedom to conjure up what you want to create in your inner space, right? So it's like, yes, we have to maintain boundaries, but we don't have to be like always standing there waiting for something bad to approach us. Just kind of cast this over into the divine and let your guides help you. Let the energy help you. And when you know that you've been putting your energy in the right direction and the right pot and the right focus, you're going to worry less and less and less because you understand how energy works and you're confident that you've done what's best for you. You've done what is smart and appropriate, and it's just like what you put out, you get back. You're like, well, I know I've done really good energy work, so I don't worry about things because I know that the likelihood of anything coming my way is very slim to none because I've cleaned up my energy so much. I've cleaned up my energy so much. It's like there's nothing to worry about anymore. So let's go up here to our soul flower because she is golden and just beaming white light, radiate. She's just crowning this whole spread. I just love it so much. She says, Yarrow is like a little umbrella or shield. Okay, she wants to talk about boundaries too. Yarrow offers protection from negative energies or toxic influences. She helps you to build strong, healthy boundaries and compassionate awareness of self and others, and to avoid unnecessary energy leaks and general depletion as you evolve and grow. So yeah, that's the theme, you guys. Avoiding unnecessary energy leaks, right? Healthy boundaries, connections to others that's compassionate yet, healthy for you. That's a great word because, once you give too much of your energy away, that's not healthy. If you're giving your energy to negativity, that is not healthy. So don't let yourself be influenced by toxic people, toxic thoughts. And I think that's a strong word, toxic. However, it's the right word, because when you are entertaining negative thoughts, negative belief systems, hate, vengeance, attack, that's the ego stuff, right? And you might as well be drinking poison. You really do. They're literally toxic to you. They weaken you. They tire you. They dwindle you. Like, you are a powerful being, but whenever you are negatively focused, you're a freaking pipsqueak weakling. That's what you become. That's what you become. It's like an insult to who you truly are. So yeah, I love the idea of getting ourselves built up and, protected without, it's like a thing. It's like, yeah, we want to be protected, have boundaries, but we don't want to be focused on attack anymore. So how do we do that? Like, how can we, be in a place where it's like, we're not a vibrational match to a lot of the bad stuff anymore because we don't put our belief in it anymore. The Arcturians this morning said that they are always very careful, like, where they put their energy, because it's very important to them who and what they are becoming. So it needs to become very important to you. Who do you want to be? What do you want to become? How do you want to feel? And then it needs to become a top priority to maintain the boundaries of your mind and quit letting in negative thinking. Quit letting in negative thoughts. Quit allowing anyone to manipulate you emotionally, because guaranteed they're not trying to manipulate you to love, light, and joy like I am, right? Like, I'm like, come over here, feel good with me. And you're like, no, I want to talk about politics. I'm like, no, like, come over here, be loving, be compassionate, send everyone your love. And you're like, no, I want to be mad at him. I don't want to forgive anybody. I want to be hateful. I want to punch her in the face. And it's like, listen, you guys, you have to stop. You have to stop. We all have to stop. We all have to stop. And so even this weekend, like, I remember like 2 or 3 times, like, a thought came in where, like, my ego wanted to battle somebody that disagreed with me or something, or like my ego was like, oh, it would have been smart of you to say that to him. But I was like, no, like, I am not engaging anymore. Like, I am the peaceful warrior. I am going to be a match to love and light and goodness in the world. Like, I have to do my part by stopping the participation of my mind in violence. And it might not seem violent just to be sassy to somebody, but it is. It's the same energy. I might as well punch them in the face. It's the same energy. If I am throwing combos in my mind at somebody, if I am thinking about how I'd like to rip that person a new one, that is the energy of violence and separation. And there I am getting sucked into the ego's playground. And it's my responsibility now to not do that anymore. And I get out of it by using my discernment, paying attention, catching myself when I might be triggered or prompted, and then choosing differently than what I used to choose. I used to totally engage in sass and battle, and I could war with you. Right? But now I'm just not. And it's not that I'm just being reserved physically, I'm just not mentally. I'm just not even giving it any airtime anymore. And if it does come up, like it wants to something inside me wants to act like the aggressive warrior, I have to think, where is this wound coming from so that I may heal it? I want to heal this so that I can be the peaceful warrior, because it's only then, when I'm standing in the light and love of the universe, that I will know my true power. All right, so this beautiful green, is that a Luna moth? Is that the green moth? It's so amazing. I don't even know if she gives any. It's the green moth, and she's in this vortex of indigo, light violet, white yarrow flowers, swirling, maybe going towards the cosmos. But this card comes with the messages of invisibility, hiding, and discretion. So this is the Plant Spirit Oracle by Dana O'Driscoll. Yarrow is a quiet yet powerful plant. And yeah, it grows all around North America, Europe, Asia. On the East Coast, you'll find it in sunny fields, abandoned areas, edgings. Yarrow can tolerate extremely poor soil, so you'll see it growing alongside the roads and strip mines. Like, it's a survivor, absolutely, very strong. Yarrow is all over the dang place. It has feathery leaves. They arrange themselves in a spiral moving up the stem. The flower clusters are arranged in groups of 15 to 40 tiny flowers, usually white or light pink, sometimes yellow, visible as a single flower called an inflorescence at a distance. Like, it seems like it's one flower, but you get up there, there's all these cute little tiny flowers. It has a sweet aromatic smell that is powerful when you crush the leaves. So invisibility. Yarrow has long been known as a plant that can offer invisibility. Man, it's getting loud in here. Planted in yards or worn on a person, it helps someone hide and be unseen. Some people want to be seen, but not heard, but are not noticed. So anyways, there is a message of invisibility. So if you were doing a reading, you could kind of like see how that applies to you. Sometimes that's the best way to be, is invisible, especially at the grocery store, in your life, so that you can be observant or, do your own thing. Hiding is the second theme of Yarrow. Perhaps somebody or someone wants to stay hidden. Whether or not this is a good thing depends on the situation at hand. So yeah, you got to compare this to the other cards in your reading, how it applies to your life. Sometimes hidden things need to be brought to the surface and dealt with, while other hidden things are best left buried and forgotten. So I think if there's one thing that Yarrow has definitely put on the table for us, it's like, do you want to pay attention to it or not? And you really need to start to evaluate, is it best to leave it buried, let it be invisible, or do you want to give your attention to it and manifest it more and maybe deal with it? So using discretion is also another thing that Yarrow is going to remind us of today. Discretion can be how you carefully manage your words and your actions, being careful about what you are doing, maybe what you are thinking. Be very discerning and deliberate with your thoughts, with your focus. Who is noticing what you are doing and the manner in which it is done. So really be very aware with Yarrow. This is not a time for grand actions or flashy activity. Rather, doing things quietly and discreetly will serve the situation best. Whoa. So yeah, that to me says, like, this is a lot of inner work. We created that inner bubble, that inner space, that protective space. We don't need to announce to anybody what we're doing within ourselves at this time, right? Sometimes that's the best way to maintain a sacred space within you, is to kind of just be under everybody's radar at the moment, and kind of, do your thing that you need to do. Do it. Do it. Do your healing work. Just like Yarrow is associated with wound healing, right? Stopping the blood flow, dealing with bleeding. Do your own inner healing work too, so that you can become strong again. So you can let your wounds go and not be identified as them being you. You are not your disease. You are not your trauma. You are not your trauma. So it's time to quit identifying with it. Know the wound, but then heal it. Heal it and let it go. Some other folk names for this plant, they're kind of interesting. Bloodwort, nosebleed, sanguinary, and soldier's woundwort. So yeah, it can definitely stop bleeding. Fresh dried or tinctured. Yarrow can stop the flow of blood from cuts and wounds. So very cool. And then even inside of us, it has a wide range of applications when blood is involved. So internal applications like a urinary tract infection, things like that, that you might be bleeding internally, check out Yarrow. And she too says to make a wound powder, a Yarrow wound powder. So yeah, you just want to gather those leaves, dry them up, grind them super fine. And then you can put that in the wound to stop the flow of blood. So if you are outside and you are bleeding, just do a spit poultice. Just chew up the leaf and put it on and try it out. Try it out. Go get hurt. So you go get hurt so you can try this out. All right, last card. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. It's going to be a great week. Either that or I'm just going to argue with everything that comes up. Man, that's the one thing about the Course in Miracles. It's completely takes your life and turns it upside down. And there's just some stuff now it's becoming harder to participate in because I just have a different perspective about it. So hopefully the Course in Miracles won't ruin my podcast. Because it'll say something like evil spirits and I'll be like, well, there actually is no such thing. Right. So anyways, please join me with destroying the illusions you created and read the Course in Miracles. So we can go down that path together too. But right now we're going down the last open road here with Yarrow. I love seeing all the cards flipped over because the backs of all these cards are friggin' beautiful. They really are. I might have to take a picture of just them flipped over, because we don't always take time to appreciate the backs of the cards, but all these are magnificent. So let's tap in now to the message of being open. Open. There is a new beginning on the horizon and the possibility of a lot of different energies coming together to make things happen. Cooperation is needed, and you could play the pivotal role or hold the key to releasing the energy required. So yeah, new ideas, inspirations, and creative solutions are forthcoming. All this energy. Do you realize how you hold the key? You are pivotal for all of this. You can be pivotal. You can stand where you are right now and decide to route or reroute the energy. Like if it's positive, you keep it going. If it's been negative, you reroute that energy. You can literally be a pivotal, baby. You can literally help change the direction of the course of energy for this world. The trajectory of the collective. You play a part in that. It's like you don't think what's going on in your mind is a big deal, but it is. It is. And if you take the time to get more positive, to clean out your mental space, to heal your wounds of trauma and abandonment and fear. If you take the initiative to get away from fear, get fear out of your life, stop harmonizing with fear. Stop harmonizing with hate. Stop harmonizing with judgment. If you do that very, very important work, you literally are unlocking doors that have been closed to all of us. That's why we as a collective need to do our work individually and then keep adding to the pot. Keep adding to the cauldron of making something so magical happen in this world that we never have had it before. Humans have never had a truly magical world, a truly divine experience, because we're just so attached to fear. We're just so attached to hating each other and being negative. We're just so hooked on being separated from each other. So anyways, please know that any and all work that you do is so important and so appreciated, and really it's co-creation, and we need to cooperate with each other. We need to all do our own work so that collectively we release the energy required in order to heal up the world. So when you get new inspirations, when you get creative solutions, go with it. If you work in a creative art field, you're going to see a lot of energy coming in your life. More energy is just flowing if you are open to it. If you decide to keep the door closed, it may seem like it's storming outside. It may seem like life is terrible and scary and you hate it and it's uncomfortable because you're resisting the good energies. So this is an invitation now from Yarrow to open up and let the good energies flow. Let this be a fruitful time. Let this be a time of personal growth and enthusiasm. All right, so many things are ready to be birthed in your life, in the world. Know that you are supported. Know that you are protected. And know that as a warrior of love and light, you can peacefully step in to this new path emerging. So beautiful. Yarrow is going to teach us how to maintain our boundaries and get this beautiful divine sense of protection, but it's going to be so we can open up our hearts. Opening up our hearts. Absolutely. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me in our Herb of the Week, Yarrow. I guess I should try to figure out what our affirmations are. I just had a sip of my cold tea, and I will have you know that I went ahead and ordered myself one of those coffee mug warmer plates, and I cannot wait because I am so excited for it. So anyways, stay focused on the good stuff, you guys. Stay focused on what feels good. If things in your life don't feel good, now is the time to do your healing work. Now is the time for Yarrow. This affirmation minute is brought to you by our Herb of the Week, Yarrow, and I lovingly dedicate them all to you. I am protected. My positive energy creates a natural boundary, filtering out negativities and bolstering up positivity. I know my strength. I identify my wounds and then I heal them. It is safe for me to open my heart. I am protected. My positive energy creates a natural boundary, filtering out negativities and bolstering up positivity. I know my strength. I identify my wounds and then I heal them. It is safe for me to open my heart. And so it is.